Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Amos, and I am a resource specialist at Witter Ranch Elementary in Sacramento, California. My purpose as an educator is to help all of my students achieve success in their academic careers. By assessing my dispositions as an educator, I can get a better idea of what I can do to improve upon my skills in teaching and become a well-rounded teacher. Being sensitive to individual learning and social needs and embracing the cultural diversity of the community and believing that all students can learn and should set realistic expectations for student success are two dispositions that I possess that I believe make me a successful teacher. I've been taught not to assume competence in our students. Just because a student has a learning disability does not mean they cannot do something, because they can do it. It may just look a little bit differently than their typical peers, and these students may just go about it in a different way. So to promote student success, we as educators need to do our due diligence to make sure all of our students are able to access the curriculum. We can do this by providing multiple means of engagement to target the why of learning, multiple means of representation to target the what of learning, and multiple means of action and expression to target the how of learning. After determining a student's area or areas of need for improvement, the general education teacher and I can work together to create academic goals that are challenging yet attainable for our students. And as the resource specialist, I am then able to work in small groups with these students, and we can then target their IEP goals to make sure they are finding that success and they are meeting those goals and accessing the curriculum. As far as growth goes, I'm only in my second year of teaching, so I think that I have a lot of area to improve upon, and I do have a lot more growth that I can do. I do quite a bit of self-reflection, which can elicit growth, but I don't have a lot of teaching experience to actually reflect on. Although my experience is limited, I do strongly believe that taking time every month or few weeks to reflect on how things have been going, what is and what isn't working, and how students have been doing is important and can help you see what changes might need to be made for student success. I had trouble last year keeping some of my students engaged in math. I tried several different strategies to keep their motivation high, but it seemed like I kept falling short. I do strongly agree that educators should promote and support curiosity and engage active inquiry, but I do believe this is an area where I could use a lot more growth in. I need to keep adding tools to my toolbox, right? As educators, we want to be and act professional, but it is also imperative to have a growth mindset so we can make sure we are keeping up with all of the latest curricula and teaching strategies. When I think of a professional educator, I used to automatically think of a college professor. I think this may have stemmed from childhood, where I would watch movies and shows that showed scenes of college lecture classes, and these teachers or college professors were usually referred to as professor or doctor, which also makes me think of professionalism. These professors are usually dressed in slacks and a button-up shirt for the males, and dressier pants, skirt, and a blouse for women. Now that I myself am a teacher, I definitely view professionalism in a different light, or being a professional educator in a different light. Now I think of someone who is able to hold their composure during stressful classroom situations, someone who speaks with proper grammar, and someone who is committed to the teaching profession above all else. The model code of ethics for educators are the standards that we as educators and all professional educators should follow and abide by. But I also believe that this vision of professionalism is kind of innate. Whether we choose to do so or not, I believe that most people know how to present themselves appropriately and behave in different settings. So from taking this short survey, I have been able to reassess what I'm doing currently and kind of like some of my qualities that I can see in myself. I've targeted the areas where I can use improvement and what I'm already doing well. But again, with that growth mindset, I do believe that we never stop learning. So therefore, I can always use growth in an area, even if I feel like I'm doing really great and I'm strong in that area. Thank you. Have a nice night.